বাংলা ট্রিবিউন, কম কথায় সব কথা।
You're right, the standards of behavior have gone down everywhere. I think we've seen it most notably in the United States, where I don't think anybody in living memory has either seen or imagined they would see a president in the White House speaking the way Mr. Trump has been doing, tweeting the way he has been doing, using some very coarse language, liking offensive tweets and so on. And then we're seeing some of this spreading to politicians in Europe, even in Asia. I think sometimes we in our party in Delhi are shocked at the kind of vituperation and abuse that being in public office subjects you to these days. I have to say it's a new one for many people, because there was always a certain veneer of well-behaved, polite conduct, which simply no longer exists. I mean, people are taking the gloves off and going for each other in a very, very nasty way. Why is this happening? I partially blame social media, because I think that the culture of anonymity in social media, you can open a Twitter handle any name you want, any picture you want, no one is verifying any of this. So the result is that very often these people sheltering behind anonymous handles resort to abuse. That lowers the overall standards, and then even people who are not anonymous, they feel obliged to react to that level, and they too tend to indulge in this way. So I think all of these factors have created a very bad climate. But I must say, speaking as an Indian, I grew up in India in the 60s, and things that I'm hearing from a public platform today, uttered by politicians, particularly those associated with the ruling party, but not only with them, are things that when I was growing up in India, no one would even utter in the privacy of their living rooms. That's how much the discourse has fallen in the country.
You're one of the most followed politicians in your country. So how do you see the influence of social media on politics, especially in this part of the world?
Well, it's increasing. There's no doubt about that. I remember when I first fought the election in 2009, I was the only Indian MP with a website. By 2014, the picture had changed, particularly Mr. Modi, who overtook me in 2013 as the most followed Indian politician on Twitter. He and his BJP followers really seized on the instrument of social media as a way of getting their message across, bypassing the so-called mainstream media. And that, I must say, had a terrific impact for his party. And then if you look at what followed, by 2019 everybody was catching on, everyone was on social media. My experience of people actually resisting my being on Twitter, for example, when I first became a minister, you could not use a government computer to go on social media. It was all barred. From those days to a time when Mr. Modi requires every cabinet minister to have a Twitter account, when the British government obliges every high commissioner or ambassador to have a Twitter account. The world has changed. Social media is now a place where you not only put across your message, you get feedback from the public, sometimes maliciously motivated, but sometimes genuine, and you also realize the agenda is being set for you. Because, for example, if an issue is trending on social media, you can no longer afford to ignore it as a policymaker, as a diplomat, as a politician. So there is no question that the impact is much, much greater than it ever was. And now it's no longer possible to ignore. In fact, there was a time, even in 2014, I would have said, social media will affect a section of the electorate, but not the majority. Today, by the next Indian elections of 2024, I have no doubt it will be the principal instrument to be used, because everybody is on it. We are now getting a situation in India, and I'm sure Bangladesh is in a similar position, where the increasing affordability of 4G communications, not yet 5G, but 4G, and the reducing cost of smartphones has made the internet accessible to people who would never in their lives have had or will have or use a desktop or a laptop computer. Now the internet is on your phone. You don't need to go to an internet cafe. And that is going to change the adoption of social media dramatically.
Do you think the abuse or misuse of social media will affect the democratic process?
Yes, I mean, obviously, democracy is never well served by abuse, for one thing. But equally, I don't think that democracy is well served when distortions, fake news, lies, propaganda are given wide publicity on social media without the filter that the old mainstream media would have. See, in the old days, if somebody wanted to write something either wrong or made up or defamatory, you still have to go past an editor, perhaps a sub-editor first, an editor, or copy editor, before it finally appeared in print. There would be various checks in which somebody, and in the Western world, fact checkers were employed to check every fact before something was published. In social media, there is no filter, there is no editor. You think of something right now and it can be on social media in 5 minutes. It can be a complete lie. And that is the big danger for our democracy, when it becomes difficult for people to tell the truth from the falsehood.
So how do you think policymakers in this part of the world should address this issue?
Well, I think we'll have to see. In my own country, I chair the committee of Parliament that is looking into this issue, and I want to see what everyone's ideas are, because I'm not in favor of censorship. I would rather have self-regulation. I would also have some independent standards control authority, like you would have, for example, in most democracies for television and radio broadcast, there is a broadcasting standards authority or some equivalent body which can receive complaints if people are broadcasting falsehood and lies. But it's got to work more efficiently and rapidly than for radio or TV, because it is not a 1-hour program that you can leisurely debate over 2 weeks. It's instant. The damage is done now. And therefore, if you don't have an instant response mechanism, probably backed by strong artificial intelligence and algorithms and so on, you may end up keeping on shutting the stable door after the horse is built.